The last thing I wanted to touch on with LEDs, obviously we can help you guys out with a ton of stuff, but one of the coolest things is, guys, rebates. We have gotten some absolutely insane deals for some customers where, and Elliot, you can talk a little bit more about this, but they upgraded from HBS to LEDs. I mean, there's been customers, they've bought like $60,000 of lights for like 15K. They paid maybe not even 15K, some absurd number, and $60,000 of brand new lights for like $15,000. And we've done this over and over again to help our customers out. So yeah, rebates. We offer kind of like a concierge service where we'll just work with the electricity companies on your guys' behalf. So I'll stop right there. Elliot, you can kind of talk a little bit more about this, and obviously every state is a little bit different. Every electrical company is a little bit different. All of them have different rules and different regulations, but Elliot, you can speak on this a little bit more.
Yeah, no, rebates are extremely valuable. Don't ever buy an LED until you look into the rebates, because most of the time you have to be pre-approved. As you mentioned, it's James, it's highly dependent. The How the program works, what they cover, what they rebate, all of that is absolutely dependent upon the power company. So, if you call us up and you say, "Hey, this is my address, this is my electric provider, these are the lights I'm looking at." Well, before we even dive into sourcing the lights for you, we're going to find out what the regulations are for those rebates, the conditions for those rebates in your area for your power company provider, because they're very specific as to what they'll cover. And then there's certain types of lights that will be rebatable, and there's others that will never be able to achieve the rebates. So you definitely want to know that before you start looking at your lights, because you might identify the best light for your needs, but you can't get a rebate. Whereas if you get this other light, you might only pay 25% of the cost after the rebates. And it might not have been your first choice, but at a fraction of the price, it becomes your first choice. So don't go down the rabbit hole first. Check out give us a call. We'll check out the rebates for you. We'll identify the lights that are rebate ready, that are the best lights for your particular purpose. That's what we
And
do.
And just to make it a little bit easy here, when you're looking into the lights, there's some sort of compliant, DOC compliant, DMC compliant, something like that, right?
Right. So this is a DLC, is the Design Lights Consortium. They're the ones that kind of evaluate the lights, and it's all about efficiency. So if the lights are registered with the DLC, they have a list that's updated every year. It's called the QPL, and every year it becomes more stringent. So lights that qualify for rebates last year might not qualify for rebates this year. So that's why it's important to and I'll also say there's a lot of manufacturers that have a little DLC compliant logo on their lights, and it might have been for last year and it might not apply for this year. So, take it with a grain of salt. Give us a call. I can look up the lights. We'll figure out the rebates. We'll make sure that you're dialed in before you make that purchase. And while you're at it, there are other things that are also rebatable, not just lights, but dehus, VFD, variable frequency drive, like pumps and stuff like that. So it's really important, give us a call. Tell us what type of equipment you're looking at right now for your needs, and we'll check the rebates for all of that. And then we'll make sure that if there are rebates, we'll provide the products that will meet the requirements to get those rebates for you.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And just to comment on that, we had a customer today who qualified for some dehumidifier rebates, right? And I think
Yeah.
I want to say it was like 8 to 10% off per dehu on some of the bigger ones.
Yeah, actually, it was even more than that. I mean, these are really large DHUs that they were getting, but the rebates are up to $1,100 on each DHU. So this is not insubstantial, unsubstantial. It's not like a few dollars. Sometimes it's extremely significant. So definitely worth giving us a call before you make that purchase.